St. Louis, and this is now for both of us. St. Louis is going to take on Sporting Kansas City in a home away and home setup. How do you think they will fare? I'll let you go first.
I think this is going to be a bit closer than people are going to expect. So, home away record for St. Louis this season 11-4-2 at home, 6-8-3 away. So, pretty strong at home, but, it's not unbeatable to beat St. Louis there. Away record is weaker than I had originally thought it was going to be. 6-8-3 is not what I would have expected out of the number one seed in the West. SKC are 9-6-2 at home, definitely beatable there, but still pretty strong. And 3-8-6 on the road, definitely pretty weak on the road. Form coming in, we talked about SKC already. So St. Louis is 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw coming in. And one of those wins is a win against SKC. So head to head this season, they have 4-0 win for St. Louis in St. Louis. SKC won 2-1, I think, in SKC. And then St. Louis won 4-1 at home. So when St. Louis is at home against SKC, they've rocked them this season. And I think that's going to really be the difference maker here. So I think having 2 home games in this series is going to be what puts St. Louis through. I'm a little bit worried about how St. Louis is going to do in the playoffs this year because I feel like we've seen a number of times where teams look really strong in the regular season, then they get to the playoffs and kind of fall apart. And the St. Louis team, while some guys definitely have playoff experience, as a team, they have none so far. Never played a playoff game together. So I don't know what to expect from them in that regard. However, I think the 2 home games still with the St. Louis crowd playing or them playing in front of the St. Louis crowd for their first ever playoff game, I think there's going to be a lot of hype and motivation. I think it will definitely carry them to, in my opinion, a 2-1 series win for them. I think all teams win their home games in this one.
I like that because that's kind of the way I was going with it too. Um, I think it's close, like you mentioned. I think it's close where I think at least one of those games is going to penalties because Casey's going to come out and especially away from home, they're just going to sit in that low block and try and absorb as much as they can, maybe get a counter. Because as you mentioned, only 3 wins on the road all season versus the 11 at St. Louis's home. I think that they are going to Peter Vermees is going to game plan better than Bradley Carnell will. And I think he's going to invite that Bradley Carnell press to say, hey, come and try and get the ball off us. Set it back to Tim Melia, hit that thing long, flick it on by anybody, and try and run onto the second ball. That being said, I do think St. Louis will have early success in the first game. Vermees will figure it out. The second game, I think KC will take it at home. Again, 9 wins. They'll make that 10. The third game, I think, goes to penalties, and I think St. Louis moves on.
I mean, if it goes to penalties, I definitely back St. Louis. There's been no better goalkeeper this season than Roman Berkey. So good luck
Yeah.
getting them past Roman Berkey.
Do you want to continue in the West, or do you want to go across and do kind of like a Z formation?
Now let's knock out the West and then we'll go to the East.